All right, welcome everybody to the call. This is Andy Wibbels at 6 Apart in San Francisco, and this is our call on blogs and e-commerce. This is the terrifying conclusion of our 6-part series on small business webinars. And so hopefully you are seeing the screencast effectively on your side, which right now has a title slide which says using your blog for your website and e-commerce. So hopefully you will learn a great deal during this call and have learned a lot throughout the series that we've been doing for the past 2 to 3 months. With me today is Claire, who is monitoring the chat room. Say hello, Claire.
Hi, everyone.
She is the honcho for typepad business class. So if you have questions about that, just let her know. She will be monitoring the chat area and the Q&A area for questions as they come in. So let's get going. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Real quick about who the heck I am. My name is Andy Wibbels. I am a trainer and product manager here at 6 Apart in San Francisco, California, which is strangely cool these mornings. It's really odd. I came from Chicago a year and a half ago, so it's sort of strange to have that. I'm the author of the book Blog Wild, a guide for small business blogging. I blog at andywibbles.com, which is kind of my real blog. I have a random microblog, which the link is up there as well, and a ranty personal blog, which I will qualify as both ranty and personal, and the URL for that is also on the slides. So we've got some line noise. Let me be sure I've muted everybody else out. Just a minute, folks. Let me be sure I've got everybody that needs to be muted. That should do it. All right, so that's who the heck I am. But what I want to jump to is our agenda for today, which is we're talking about blogs and e-commerce. And there's a couple hoops we have to jump through to get to that discussion. One is looking at the difference between blogs and websites, and looking at some examples of people using their blogs as websites, people that have a blog that are using a traditional website as well in tandem, the different ways that businesses do this. We'll be looking at some common myths about blogs, and we will also be looking at a demo on building a site with typepad, and then looking at some widgets on how to add e-commerce to your blog. So a reminder, we are recording this, so if you have to jump out early, that's completely fine. We will get the recording out probably on Mondays. So first, I want to jump into the blog versus website talk. And most folks on this call probably have a pretty good understanding of what blogs are, but I just want to accentuate a few points here. One is that you probably read blogs every day. You may not know it. A lot of times, large sites are being managed by blog software, or blog platforms, depending on what you like to call it. So there's the differences between blogs and websites is quickly being reduced more and more. So your customers, you, people around you, your colleagues, are reading blogs every day and may not know it. And to your customers, the technology really is secondary. I know here in Silicon Valley, we're really all about the bells and whistles and the ooh shiny and the technology, and then we think, well, but what do real people really want? What's really going to be useful to them? And a lot of times it's a blog that is a website that's being managed with a blog platform and that type of software. And this is where we talk about why you would use a blog instead of what we call a traditional static website. If you remember the old days when we wrote our code in a text editor through 8 miles of snow, and that's the way we liked it, things are much simpler now. With a traditional website, you usually have a much poorer search engine result, a poorer SEO. I had one client that does corporate training, and we moved his blog into his website on corporate training into a blog format, and he went from being, I think, number 8 of page 5 on Google for his relevant searches to being number 1 on page 1. So a lot of times, depending on your industry, your niche, and the type of customers you're trying to attract, you're going to get a better SEO result out of a blog. And one reason a lot of folks use typepad is we do all of that for you behind the scenes, including we have what we call the update stream, where as soon as you hit publish, we pipe out your post to all the search engines immediately, within seconds. So a lot of times you'll be seeing search engine results immediately. I know that with a site that I help run here at 6apartblogs.com, we can put out a top 10 list and be getting traffic for those types of searches within 10 minutes. So a lot of times a blog is going to give you much faster results than you would with a traditional hand-coded, handmade website. Also, when you have a static website, you may have to wait around and pay your designers for every single update. So if you want to change your mailing address or your phone number or add an event to your calendar or add a product to your catalog, you have to wait for your designers to be available. And a lot of times folks don't have a designer on retainer or a dedicated design staff. And with a blog, you simply go in and make those changes yourself. So you're not at the mercy of a design team. Similarly, you are not having to rely on an IT department. We have customers from solo professionals, solopreneurs, small business folks, all the way to huge corporate brands that use blogs and use typepad and our other products because they're able to get things done themselves without having to wait for an IT department to upgrade something, to install something, to verify the security of something. So a blog lets you move faster and more inexpensively and get more visibility with the search engine. So that's why we say you really don't have to have a website anymore. That's not always necessary. So, I mean, yeah, we're a bit vested in that point of view, but I think that we're really getting to that point where the technology has matured enough that anybody can get online to do what they need to do and to get their businesses online very quickly. For folks just joining us, this is the call on blogs and e-commerce. This is Andy at 6apart in San Francisco. On our next few slides, I want to take you through some examples of very large businesses and big brands using blogs on typepad. And a lot of our examples here are from typepad, but large businesses are using blogs overall to a greater degree every week, every month, every year. It's been very exciting to watch blogging kind of reach into the business world as a quick way to not have to wait around for your IT department to get things up and running.